You ever wonder which American workhorses left the deepest tracks in farming history? Well, these are the mighty machines that shaped our fields, built our nation's breadbasket, and remain etched into our memories. From the iconic models that helped Grandpa plow his first acre, to the titans that modernized farming beyond imagination, each of these tractors deserves its place on the countdown. Stick around to discover the detailed specs and stories behind these iconic giants. Let's jump in to number 10. Number 10, the Minneapolis Molin G1000. Let's kick it off with the Minneapolis Molin G1000, a proud representative of that classic prairie gold paint job. Released in 1965, this beast immediately stood out for its powerful performance, cementing the Minneapolis Molin's brand place among high horsepower tractors of the era. Sporting a hefty 8.3-liter six-cylinder engine, the G1000 delivered around 110 PTO horsepower, enough muscle to tackle serious fieldwork in row crop and utility settings alike. Its name alone evokes images of wide-open Midwest fields, a time when horsepower was becoming a critical factor for farmers scaling up their production. The G1000 could come in gasoline or diesel variants, catering to different preferences and fuel availability. Minneapolis Molin also offered multiple transmission options, including a 5-speed or 10-speed partial power shift, letting operators find the right combination of torque and speed for a variety of tasks. Now, beyond just raw power, the G1000's rugged construction made it popular with farmers who demanded durability from their big investments. Whether pulling heavy plows or powering PTO-driven implements like large grain augers, it earned a reputation for reliability. The G1000 line was also notable for its spacious operator platform, which, for its time, offered a relatively comfortable workspace. Nostalgia aside, the G1000 influenced what came after it. Its success showed that the demand for higher horsepower in a sturdy frame was more than just a trend. It was the future of efficient farming. Minneapolis Molin might have merged with others down the line, but whenever you spot that bright gold in an old photo, you'll remember the horsepower revolution that it symbolized. Number 9, the Oliver 1950. Now, ninth on our list is the unmistakable Oliver 1950, nicknamed by some enthusiasts as the Detroit Oliver because it was powered by a Detroit diesel 453 two-stroke engine. Now, this tractor roared onto the scene in 1964 and quickly raised eyebrows with its distinctive exhaust note. Producing approximately 105 PTO horsepower, the 1950 delivered more than enough muscle for tillage, row cropping, and heavy-duty hauling, a major step up from smaller tractors that once struggled with bigger tasks. A key calling card of the Oliver brand was innovation, and the 1950 fit neatly into that tradition. Now, beyond just the punchy diesel engine, farmers appreciated the advanced transmission choices. Many models came with the Hydra power drive, enabling on-the-go shifting between direct drive and a torque-amplified setting, which simplified fieldwork, especially in variable soil conditions. Oliver built the 1950 in Charles City, Iowa, showcasing the heartland spirit of American tractor manufacturing during the mid-1900s. That combination of Midwestern craftsmanship and a robust powertrain turned the 1950 into a staple on many farms. Owners praised its reasonable fuel consumption and torque-heavy performance, which came in handy when pulling larger implements or working challenging terrain. If you ever stumble upon a vintage farming showcase, the 1950's two-stroke diesel sound will likely catch your ear before anything else. Although Oliver would eventually merge into the White Motor Corporation, the green and white 1950 remains a testament to the brand's pursuit of practical power. From plowing new grounds to hauling wagon loads at harvest, it earned its keep as a reliable workhorse. It's a tractor that captures a bygone era when big engines and bulletproof engineering were forging new directions in farm machinery. Number 8, the Ford 9000. Coming in at number 8 is the Ford 9000, introduced around 1970 as part of Ford's push into higher horsepower territory. This model was designed to outperform the earlier Ford 8000 and carve out its own place in a market that demanded serious pulling power. A 6-cylinder Ford 401 diesel engine lived just under the hood, generating about 120 PTO horsepower, which was a significant jump for the brand at the time. The 9000 didn't just offer raw power, though, it also brought modern styling and a refined operator environment to the table. A larger fuel tank meant that you could put in a full day of work without constant pit stops. The updated sheet metal gave it a polished professional look that stood apart from the older, more basic Ford designs. And the 3-point hitch system, combined with a robust hydraulic capacity, made it incredibly versatile for tasks like planting, cultivating, or running large implements. Many farmers back then had used smaller Fords like the 8N or 100 series models, and the leap to a 9000 was monumental. It represented the shift from relatively modest horsepower to a machine that can handle bigger fields, heavier soils, and advanced implements. As American farms consolidated and mechanization ramped up, the 9000 was exactly the kind of tractor that could keep pace with changing times. Of course, everything wasn't just about utility. The 9000 also carried the legendary Ford brand heritage, an emblem recognized in towns across America for reliability and innovation. Owners often applauded its straightforward engineering, which made maintenance less of a headache. Even decades later, you'll find enthusiasts who restore the 9000 to its former glory and proud to show off this piece of Ford's high horsepower legacy that helped usher in an era of bigger, stronger American tractors. Number 7. The Massey Ferguson 1155. At number 7, we have the Massey Ferguson 1155. Unveiled in 1973 to showcase MF's determination to stay competitive in the high horsepower arena. Beneath that bold red exterior beat the heart of a Perkins TV8 540 V8 diesel engine, an 8.8-liter engine that was pushing around 146 PTO horsepower. This was a serious step up, as Massey Ferguson sought to give farmers a machine that could handle large-scale operations from dawn till dusk. The 1155's V8 sound alone was enough to grab your attention. It had a distinct rumble that signaled strength and efficiency, pairing well with the tractor's structural heft. In addition to raw horsepower, Massey Ferguson equipped the 1155 with a multi-power transmission, allowing operators to change gears under load. This feature let you manage varying field conditions or tough spots without stopping to shift manually, a real bonus for productivity. Another highlight was comfort. The 1155's platform and cab were designed to reduce operator fatigue, which incorporated features like more ergonomic controls and improved seat suspension, at least for its time. Now, anyone who spent endless hours bouncing around the field appreciates even a small upgrade in the seat or control layout. Farmers put this big Massey to work pulling hefty tillage equipment, big discs, and grain carts, and its reliability under pressure and strong parts support network helped endear it to the folks who depended on it daily. Think of it like a big brother that could easily handle all the heavy lifting during planting and harvest. Although many decades have passed since its debut, the 1155 remains a favorite among classic tractor enthusiasts. If you spot one restored at a farm show, you're likely to see a proud owner ready to regale you with stories of how the V8-driven legend powered through fields, forging memories one season at a time. Number 6, the White 2135. Sitting at number 6, the White 2135 is a direct descendant of the legacy that Oliver, Minneapolis Molin, and Cockshut combined to create under the White Motor Corporation banner. Debuting in 1976, the 2135 put down roughly 135 PTO horsepower, courtesy of its 478 cubic inch Hercules diesel engine. If you haven't heard of White as often as some brands, let this serve as a reminder that they produced some seriously capable machines back in their heyday. One of the defining features of the 2135 was the over-under hydra-shift transmission. This unit effectively gave the operator 3 on-the-go speed choices within each gear, making it easier to match the tractor's ground speed and torque to real-world field conditions. In simpler terms, it was a big step forward in optimizing performance on the fly. Looks weren't neglected either. With a modern angular design and that crisp white and silver paint scheme, the 2135 had a presence that said it was ready to do business. The operator's station was notably roomy, offering an upgraded dash layout and decent visibility. Two things that became vital when you're working long days from planting through harvest. The 2135 thrived on larger acreages, pulling big field cultivators, plows, and grain carts alike. It was just born for the job. Many farmers were particularly impressed by its torque and lugging power, attributing it to its rugged Hercules engine. This was also a period in tractor evolution when manufacturers began integrating more horsepower without sacrificing critical reliability. Over the decades, White might not have dominated the market in the same way as the Big Green or Big Red brands, but the 2135 definitely carved out a loyal following. Even today, you'll find collectors and working farms alike that swear by this model's blend of power, durability, and engineering savvy. Number 5, the John Deere 4320. At the halfway mark comes the John Deere 4320. Introduced in 1971, it carried the proud JD lineage forward with a 6.6-liter six-cylinder diesel engine, tipping the scales at around 116 PTO horsepower. Donning that iconic green and yellow, the 4320 was a direct answer to farmers who wanted to step up in power from the well-loved 4020, but without jumping to the massive 4520. It fit neatly into that sweet spot for those seeking robust performance but still valuing maneuverability. The 4320 offered a choice of transmissions, most commonly the synchro range, though some buyers opted for the power shift. Either way, shifting gears became a simpler affair compared to older tractors, allowing operators to manage varying field conditions or just shift on the go without losing much momentum. Other features like a differential lock and an optional front wheel assist added to its versatility in different terrains. John Deere also fine-tuned the operator environment. Though cabs weren't as advanced as modern climate-controlled wonders, the 4320's layout improved upon earlier designs. The side-mounted hydraulic levers, for instance, made adjustments much more convenient, reducing the fatigue that set in after hours of field work. A hallmark of this tractor was its reliability. Farmers soon discovered that its engine had a strong torque curve, enabling steady power delivery in heavier pulls. Maintenance was straightforward. Parts availability and service support from the John Deere dealer network made ownership less stressful. For many, it was the go-to machine for everything from tillage to running forage harvesters. Above all, the 4320 helped solidify John Deere's reputation as an innovator that listened to the changing demands of American agriculture. It may not have been the most massive or flashy in Deere's lineup, but for the average farmer looking to jump past 100 horsepower, the 4320 became a faithful partner in the fields. Number 4. The Chalmers 7040. Fourth on our list is the Chalmers 7040. Introduced in 1974 as part of the company's bold 7000 series, Chalmers was no stranger to innovation. Think back to the WD and D series that revolutionized farming in the mid-1900s, and the 7040 kept the brand moving forward into the high horsepower realm. At around 134 to 140 PTO horsepower, this engine had the brawn needed for heavy field work and large-scale farms. Under the hood was the Chalmers 426 cubic inch turbocharged diesel engine, a 7.0-liter six-cylinder engine known for its solid torque. The 7040 typically came with either the power-directed transmission or a fully functional power shift, making gear changes more efficient and letting operators maintain momentum while tackling tough spots in the field. One thing folks often remember about the 7040 was its distinctive paint job. Early models supported a maroon belly, later changed to the iconic Persian orange all the way down. Looks aside, comfort measures in the 7040 were a bit of a step up. The roomy operator platform and enhanced instrument panel helped reduce fatigue, a perk for those sunrise to sunset workdays. Chalmers also focused on building a tractor that could handle a variety of attachments. The robust 3-point hitch, dependable hydraulics, and sturdy PTO system made it easier to run everything from big mowing conditioners to grain carts. In an era where farmland was expanding and farmers needed equipment that could keep up, the 7040 delivered. Though Chalmers faced market challenges that led to changes in the company's structure over time, models like the 7040 remain beloved by classic tractor collectors and working farms alike. Now, these machines represent a time when American tractor manufacturers were in fierce competition to produce ever stronger, more efficient powerhouses, a battle that pushed agriculture into a new age of productivity. Number 3. The Case 1370. Heading into the top 3, we spotlight the Case 1370, first introduced in 1971. Part of the Case Agri King lineup. Now, this tractor demonstrated Case's readiness to meet the high horsepower trend that was sweeping the industry. Underneath the white and orange exterior lay a 504 cubic inch six-cylinder diesel engine that cranked out around 135 PTO horsepower. It was an impressive leap for a brand best known for earlier models like the 930 Comfort King. A standout feature was Case's power shift transmission, offering 3 forward ranges and a separate high-low option that allowed operators to change gears quickly, even under load. This adaptability was a game-changer when dealing with varying soil conditions or making tight turns at field ends. The 1370 was also recognized for its Comfort King cab design, which integrated more comfortable seating, better ergonomics, and improved visibility for the operator. The tractor's pulling power and relative fuel efficiency for its size garnered praise among farmers who often put it to work with large tillage implements, chisel plows, and wagons brimming with harvest loads. Case also put effort into building a robust hydraulic system, ensuring that attachments requiring steady oil flow, like loaders and large hydraulic-driven implements, would run smoothly. Thanks to these attributes, the 1370 became a favorite in the Midwest, where bigger fields demanded something more powerful than older generations of sub-100 horsepower tractors. This model lived through an era of significant transformation in farm operations, where consolidation meant fewer, bigger farms, and the need for stronger machinery was on a meteoric rise. Despite mergers and brand transformations, eventually creating Case IH, the Case 1370 remains a shining example of how the brand pushed boundaries in comfort and power. It stands as a piece of farming nostalgia, reminding us of those days when horsepower races seemed to signal the future of American agriculture. Number 2, the International Harvester Farmall 1066. Taking the runner-up spot is the International Harvester Farmall 1066. Introduced in 1971, and sometimes is just referred to simply as the 1066. If you're talking about an iconic red tractor from the mid-1900s, the 1066 definitely deserves a mention. It packed a DT414 six-cylinder turbocharged diesel engine that rated at about 125 PTO horsepower, placing it squarely in the realm of serious field work. Farmers who used the 1066 often cited its torque rise as a key strength. Even when the going got tough, that engine, it lugged on, which proved invaluable for deep plowing or pulling heavy wagons uphill. The 1066 was usually fitted with a gear drive transmission paired with IH's torque amplifier for on-the-go shifting, handy for adjusting ground speed and power without having to stop or even clutch in some situations. Aside from the powertrain, the 1066 operator environment received improvements over previous IH models. The custom or deluxe cabs, though not quite what we have now, offered better weather protection, sound insulation, and ventilation than the open station setups of earlier decades. For the era, it felt like a genuine leap in comfort and safety. One reason that the 1066 is such a nostalgic favorite is that it coincided with a golden era for International Harvester. The brand's Farmall lineup had already proven itself through decades of evolution, from a small but mighty Farmall regular to the Super Series and beyond. By the time the 1066 arrived, IH had a legion of loyalists ready to embrace a tractor that delivered on horsepower, reliability, and brand heritage. Even today, plenty of 1066s remain hard at work or are the main attraction at tractor pulls and vintage shows. The combination of power, durability, and that signature red paint reflects a piece of American farming that many middle-aged owners recall with fond memories of simpler yet hard-working times. Number 1, the John Deere 4440. Now, finally topping our list at number 1 is the John Deere 4440. Introduced in 1977 and often considered the definitive American row crop tractor of its time, this legendary machine was powered by a 466 cubic inch 7.6-liter turbocharged six-cylinder diesel engine, pushing around 130 PTO horsepower. It became the tractor of choice on countless farms, big and small, and for good reason. The 4440 came with either a quad range or a full power shift transmission, both lauded for reliability and ease of operation, allowing farmers to shift quickly to match changing field conditions without losing precious time. Meanwhile, the Soundguard cab, introduced a few years earlier than other models, was refined in the 4440, offering one of the most comfortable and quiet cabs of its era. For farmers who spent 10+ hours a day in the seat, having a quieter, cleaner workspace felt like a luxury that they never knew they needed. Another beloved element was the tractor's adaptability. Whether you needed a machine for row crop planting, hay baling, or pulling large tillage implements, the 4440 rose to the occasion. With strong hydraulics, a 3-point hitch, and a rock-solid PTO, it delivered the versatility that modern agriculture was demanding. Now, owners frequently praised the 4440 for its longevity. Many have clocked thousands upon thousands of hours on the original engine and transmission with only routine maintenance. That durability meant fewer breakdowns and a much more productive season. Two factors that can make or break a farming operation. Today, the 4440 remains a poster child for reliability and a symbol of John Deere's golden years in tractor manufacturing. If you ask any fan of green paint about the best tractor of the late 1900s, chances are the 4440 is going to come up. It embraces the power, comfort, and faithful service that define America's greatest high-horsepower tractors. Hey, these 10 strongest high-powered American tractors are sure to bring back some warm memories and plenty of respect for the ingenuity that shaped our farms in the 1900s. They were more than just machines. Each reflected the pride, hard work, and vision of American agriculture. We hope you found this video helpful in remembering or learning about these American icons. And if you enjoyed our trip down memory lane, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into classic farm equipment and the stories behind them. Thanks for watching, and here's to keeping that spirit of these legendary workhorses alive for future generations.